Hi, I'm Deborah Alicia. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, thanks for the love. Today's channel message is entitled Reciprocity. This is a word that is commonly used in the spiritual community. The belief is that what we give should return to us, nothing more, nothing less. The question is, if this is not the case, will you stop giving? And the shift that we have seen with the collective consciousness is yes. The reason we are addressing this is why so many have come into agreement. Understanding has been received with regards to not being a sacrifice. And this is good because you weren't created to be anyone's sacrifice. And should anyone tell you different, it would benefit you not to be associated with them, because anyone who thinks like this is not only willing to exchange their gold for crumbs, if allowed, they would exchange others for crumbs. And we know where that leads. No need to go into details. It's the reason why so many have had to separate from those they once called family or friend, because none of these labels matter when the person behind the label doesn't act like family or friend. You would think this would be very simple to understand. Not being fooled by outward appearance. But that's not the case when we put others before ourselves. It opens the doors to our being to those approved by those we've placed over ourselves. In other words, they are our gatekeeper or handler. A gatekeeper or handler isn't sovereign. On the contrary, they're being subjected to the same. So the question then is, where does it stop? It doesn't. And here is why. Our being is infinite. It comes from an infinite source. So if that is what we believe we deserve, we will put our energy into that belief and thereby perpetuate this particular energy through attraction. Not until we understand who we are do we become privy to this, and our awareness allows us to make better choices, thereby perpetuating an energy that serves our sovereignty. And so labels like family or friend don't trip us up because we pay attention to energy. And this extends to labels like neighbor and so on and so forth. In other words, we are not falling for titles because they were created as a mask to conceal the energy one may be operating in order for us to buy into giving them what they want with no regard for what we want. And the only reason why they're doing this, like we said before, is because they are subject to the same, not knowing who they are. So celebration is in order because this is a big milestone collectively. Your leadership is not by sacrifice, but by example, because you're not trying to be an example as to bypass self-accountability. You are the example of leadership because of your self-accountability. And there is a huge difference between the two. Peace.